Hello. So today I have a weekly wrap up. This is for the week before May 28th. It is May 20th, 2023 right now. I did manage to read a book a day this past week. So we're going to get started. The theme of the week was sad homosexual young men in the late 20th century. But the first one only matches one of those criteria. That is Sasaki Miyano Volume 1. I watched the anime when it last year, I believe, or earlier this year, I don't remember, but it was really cute. And so I figured I would check out the manga. And bonus, the manga was also super cute. The art style is adorable. It's just this really cute little series about these two who end up getting super, I don't know, the anime is real cute. And the manga, I think the anime might be a little bit easier to get into than the manga just because it moves a little bit faster, but it's still adorable. It's still, like when I say moves faster, it does not move quickly at all. And at the end of this one, you still have Sasuke kind of just pining a little at the end because that's the entire thing. But yeah, very cute. Really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. And the next one I read is called Life Without Alice by Elizabeth Benning. This is a young adult novel from the 90s about this girl who, her and her twin sister moved to a new town and they're starting high school, but then Alice gets a brain tumor. Oops. And it's just about her kind of dealing with doing something on her own that she thought she'd be with her family with. It was okay. It wasn't a bad one. It's not anything that excited me very much, but it's very short, and I gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars. And then, favorite book of the week, favorite book of the year, and I reread Beartown this year, guys. Man, I read my second Bret Easton Ellis book, and that is The Shards. So my first Bret Easton Ellis book was Glamorama. I have not yet read American Psycho. I will soon. Maybe. It's in the book wall. But The Shards is a, fictionalized autobiography about Bret when he was a senior in high school, and this mysterious stuff that was going on, this mysterious new kid. It's just so good and so tragic, and I really loved it. I was like, the way it was written, it made my heart feel a little bit empty, kind of in the same way that Devil House by John Darnell did when I read it last year. In that sort of it doesn't really matter, but I just feel empty in my soul kind of thing. And it was so sad. It was so tragic. Super gross also. It's a Bret Easton Ellis. It's super gross. Super gory. But like I said, it's my favorite book so far of the year. And that's counting rereads. It's my favorite book so far of the year. It's on my, I have a spreadsheet that has every book I've ever read ever. And it's got them in order of my favorite to least favorite. And this one is currently sitting at number 1. I only started this year, so Glamorama is now there. I think Glamorama I like it more than this one because Victor Ward was just the stupidest motherfucker ever to exist. But I did enjoy this one quite a bit, and the stuff that we kind of learn here, about by kind of looking at his writing and how really concerned he is with reality and unreality. And you see a lot more of that in Glamorama, where it's the entire thing is very much like a schizophrenic jumping between of real, not real. They're looking directly at the director of the scene, whereas this one was really just 17-year-old Bret going, why does it matter, it's not real, kind of stuff. And it was just the saddest scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but the saddest scene was near the end. It was a scene very close to the end. Bret suspects this new guy and they have a scene together, and just the end of that scene was just really tragic. This kid spent a lot of time just bawling his eyes out. Anyway, 5 out of 5 stars. Then, kind of along a similar vein, but not quite so depressing or gory, we've got Ziggy, Stardust, and Me by James Brendon. There's a comma there. This is about a kid in the 70s. Yeah. Shards was 80s, this one's 70s, and he is actively going through conversion therapy for half the entire book. But this new kid moves to his school, and it's kind of hard for him to keep on going with his conversion therapy after that. But it was a good time. It was more complex than I thought it would be. I was expecting to read this immediately after The Shards, and Bret Easton Ellis is a fantastic writer. He's not simple. I was expecting this, since it's young adult, to be extremely simple writing. It was not. It's not as complex as Ellis, obviously, but it's not simple writing. It does take a little bit of thought to get through. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't my favorite. I think that in the right hands, this would be a good book. I think it's an interesting historical look at some stuff. It was okay. I gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars. The next book was probably my least favorite book that I read this week. No, the next two. Both of them I didn't like very much. Got Bad Girls with Perfect Faces by Lynn Weingarten, which is a thriller about this girl who's like finally gonna tell her best friend that she's in love with him because he finally broke up with his cheating ex, but then they get back together. And then it's weird. The pacing is really, really off. It's trying to be like 3 different books in one. I wish that they would have focused more, because when he gets back with his cheating ex, she decides to catfish the ex. And I wish they would have focused more on that, because I thought that was really, really interesting. It was interesting how those conversations were going. But it wasn't executed very well. And how it ended was very just kind of meh. But overall, I did end up giving it, I believe, 2 out of 5 stars. 2.5, which means that officially the next book is the worst book I read this week. And that is another manga, and that is Yagi the Bookshop Goat by Fumi Furukawa, which is for a very specific kind of person. I don't think it's me. The art's cute enough. I don't like the animal thing. I think it's weird. And I guess to each their own, but personally I think it's weird. And so this guy's a goat. And normally people don't let goats in bookshops because they just eat the books. But this guy's a wolf and he lets him, and like it's like some weird kind of Zootopia thing, honestly. Like carnivores and herbivores. I don't know. It wasn't that good. It was weird. I gave it 2 out of 5. So yeah, that is that. Currently rereading the first Gone book by Michael Graham, like halfway through it. Love the series. But that is that. So these are the books. Oops. These are the books I read this past week. That is all for today. I will talk to you later, and bye.